Welcome back to the home team. The SPECTRA Award is given each year to one male and one female high school student athlete who exemplify the following characteristics: sportsmanship, participation, excellence, character, teamwork, respect, and achievement. Lily Spoozak is one of this year's winners, and she joins me now. Thanks for taking the time, Lily. To begin, just tell us about the sports you competed in throughout your high school career, both at CCH and outside of school.
So every year I've done 4 sports. In the fall, I've done cross country. In the winter, volleyball. And then in the spring, I've done both track and field and badminton. And so keeping up with that, it's been busy, but I also do outside of school. I started out dancing, and that was kind of what I did as a child. And then when I was in grade 8, I started playing competitive volleyball. I played for Forest City for 3 years.
How do you strike the balance between competing in sports and still maintaining your schoolwork?
Well, for me, it's all time management, and because both of them are huge priorities for me. I don't really place one above the other. So I really just find the time. I go to school, I have a school sport, go home and study, and then I have my outside school sport. And in between there, I just find the time. And, sometimes I stay up pretty late to study, and, I might be doing it in the car on the way back from tournaments and stuff. But since I have such a high standard for it, I put the time in and wherever I can, for sure.
You also have a lot of volunteer experience. How does that fit into your schedule?
Well, volunteering's honestly just as important for me. So one of the opportunities that I've had to volunteer is where I've been reading to a blind woman, helping her study in a college program. So that for me, I've been doing that for 3 years, and that's not something that's just important for me. It's important for her. So I always try to, I need to do this for her and find the time. So there's always 2 hours out of every week. It might be late Friday night or 7:30 Saturday morning, but it's really important for me, and it's so important for her. So again, it's just finding ways to use my time to the best.
How did you find out that you were this year's winner of the SPECTRA Award?
Yeah, so obviously I didn't find out the way it's that they have in past years. There's usually the kind of big dinner, but the way I found out was actually really special. It started out with, again, the athletics director at my school sending myself and the male nominee from my school an email saying that, himself and the coaches just kind of wanted to give us a moment through a Zoom call to recognize our nominations and just kind of share some stories. So he did that, and I was sitting there and I was enjoying it. That's all I expected. And then all of a sudden, I thought it was going to end. And then Michelle Lang, who is the one of the athletics directors for Thames Valley, went on. I was like, "You're not a teacher or a coach at CCH." And so I was surprised to see her talking, and she started to say that, there's a winner here, and she just said, "Congratulations, Lily." And I was really surprised and shocked, but it was so cool because I had about 50 people on the screen there who were all supporting me and smiling and congratulating me. So it was really special. And I had my family there too, and some people that wouldn't have been able to be there at that night. So in a way, it just worked out great, and it's definitely a moment I'll remember forever.
That's awesome. What does it mean to you to win this award?
Yeah, it means so much. Really, as I said, being nominated was a huge recognition for sure. But then to be recognized amongst all the athletes in London and the Middlesex area, that was incredible for me. I know so many of them. I've competed with them. I've trained with them. So that was so special and an honor, really. And I remember in grade 8, my mom had kind of pulled me to the TV and said, "Here's this award. Maybe that could be you one day." And I remember going, probably not. But I definitely kept it in the back of my mind. And I think I just worked towards it throughout my 4 years. And it means so much that I could accomplish that goal.
And tell us, what's next for you when it comes to school and when it comes to sports?
So I've decided to go to Dalhousie University. I'll be studying medical sciences there, and I will be continuing to compete on the track and field team there. So I'm really excited for that.
Thank you again, Lily, for joining us. We appreciate it. And now we have another SPECTRA Award winner, Matthew Mason. Matt, thanks for taking the time. We'll start off with the same question. Tell me about the sports you competed in throughout high school, both at Laurier and outside of school.
Pretty much since the start of when I was younger, I've been running cross country and track and field. It hasn't always been competitive, and I didn't start doing it outside of school until about grade 9 or 10. And then also when I was younger, just until a few years ago, I played competitive hockey outside of school, and I played on the high school team for that as well. And I tested out a few other sports. I played soccer when I was younger. I did swim team. I did badminton team at school. So I've always kind of just been I've been trying different sports, but since I was younger, it's always been hockey and running.
How do you strike the balance between competing in sports and still maintaining your schoolwork?
It does get tough quite often, between school and having a part-time job and competing and training as often as I do, which is also another reason why I think this SPECTRA Award is great, because a lot of people forget, they kind of put a label on you as, oh, the runner or the athlete, and they forget about all the other things you do. But I think the SPECTRA Award kind of combines it all, and it brings it all into perspective that we do other things, and we do have to find the balance. And it's tough sometimes.
Normally, under normal circumstances, there would be a big gala at the sports celebrity dinner, and that's where the SPECTRA Award winners find out that they've won the award. This year is obviously a little bit different. So how did you find out that you won?
The way I found out I won was honestly pretty amazing, because like you said, there's normally a gala and that's canceled because of what's going on. So my athletic director, the same teacher who told me that I was nominated, and my principal, one morning, my mom woke me up and she said, Matt, get up, get ready, take a shower, look good. And then 2 cars pulled up outside my house, and I walked outside to see my athletic director and my principal standing at the end of my driveway with a big banner, balloons. They were cheering. My neighbor across the street was on her porch. So we were still maintaining that social distance, but they made sure that it was really special. And it was really cool to see that the teachers, they really do care about us, and they made it as special as they possibly could.
That's awesome. And that's really special too. You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what does it mean to you to win this award?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think once you get to be really high level at something, or really dedicated to something, people just start to see you as, for me, just the athlete, the guy who won OFSA cross country. And I think that's how they view you now, once you do something like that. And I think they forget about like my job and my schoolwork and my attitude, my relationships. And I think the SPECTRA Award is really great because it doesn't look at you as just an athlete, and it takes all those other things into account when choosing the winner. So I think it's a really good award because you can go very far with one thing. Like, I know I've received a lot of recognition for winning OFSA, but SPECTRA is one thing that I couldn't just win because of that one thing. It's a lot more than that.
So what's next for you when it comes to school and when it comes to sports? I can see a little bit of it there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit if I move down here. So next year, I'm going to Boston University to just compete and to study. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think I'm super excited for the next level. And right now, all my training is really different. I normally train with London Western Track and Field Club, but obviously we're not able to do that right now. So I'm just on my own or with one partner or with my brother, grinding it out. That's all that us athletes really can do. I think as a runner, I'm really lucky right now because I can go out and run. So I think just the athletes need to stay strong right now. They need to stay focused, and they need to remember what we're training for and then we'll be ready for when that is.
All right, Matt, thanks for joining us, and all the best at Boston U next year.
No problem. Thanks for having me. A little bit of excitement in these boring days.
Coming up on the home team, we speak with Fanshaw's male and female athletes of the year.